Tonight, before you go to sleep, you are probably going to plug your phone in. And if you do, congratulations, you might be quietly killing your battery, but not for the reason you think. For years, the internet has beaten us over the head with the exact same tech anxiety. Never charge your phone overnight. Don't let it sit at 100%. Here is the brutal truth. That warning is pointing you at the exact wrong villain. Think about it logically. Millions of people leave their phones plugged in all night, every single night. If hitting 100% was actually a death sentence, half the smartphones on Earth would be on life support by noon. The act of charging overnight isn't what's destroying your phone. So, if the plug isn't the problem, what is actually frying your battery while you sleep? Let's break it down. Alright, let's look at what is actually happening inside your device while you're asleep. Here is the biggest myth we need to kill right now. Your phone does not overcharge. It is not just blindly shoving electricity into a full battery until the sun comes up, like a gas pump that won't shut off. A lot of us are still traumatized by old school battery rules, back when you had to drain a flip phone to absolute zero or you'd ruin the battery memory. But we aren't using that old tech anymore. Whether you're rocking the newest iPhone or a modern Android flagship, the device is exactly that, smart. It has a dedicated power management chip inside. When your battery hits 100%, the phone effectively closes the gate. It cuts the power. If it naturally drops to 99% a couple of hours later, it just takes a tiny sip from the charger to top it off, and closes the gate again. So, sitting on a charger for 8 hours is not the same thing as being aggressively charged for 8 hours. Does that mean overnight charging is totally innocent? Not exactly. It just means the charger itself isn't the villain here. What actually matters is what your battery is experiencing during those 8 hours sitting at 100%. And that brings us to the real question. If the plug isn't killing your battery, what is? There are really three main culprits here, but the undisputed heavyweight champion of battery death is heat. Lithium-ion batteries can handle electricity just fine. What they absolutely despise is baking. People get so hyper-focused on the wall plug that they ignore the actual environment. Think about a normal bedtime routine. You plug the phone in, toss it on the mattress, maybe it slides under a pillow or a heavy blanket, all while it's still wrapped in a thick, protective case. You are basically putting your phone in an insulated oven. The heat of charging has nowhere to escape. That trapped heat does way more long-term damage than the act of charging itself. Factor number 2, time spent pinned at 100%. Look, hitting 100% is not a self-destruct sequence. If you have a long day ahead, top it off. That's what the battery is there for. But batteries are like muscles. They get stressed when held at max tension for too long. That's where the whole 20 to 80 rule comes from. It's not that 81% is toxic. It's just that the battery is completely relaxed in the middle ranges. If your phone hits 100% at 1 in the morning and just sits there, white-knuckling it at maximum voltage for the next 6 hours, that constant high-tension state slowly degrades the chemistry. It won't kill it overnight, but it adds up over a year. And the third piece? The double whammy. Fast charging plus heavy use. Fast chargers are awesome, but pushing that much wattage naturally generates more heat. Now, combine that with a heavy workload. I'm willing to bet a solid chunk of you are literally charging your phone while watching this video right now. Sending a quick text while plugged in? Totally fine. But firing up a heavy 3D game, doom scrolling, or streaming high-resolution video while fast charging? You are asking the battery to aggressively take in power and push out power at the exact same time. That is peak stress. And while we are talking about heat, we have to talk about the shiny modern trap sitting on your nightstand right now, overnight wireless charging. Slapping your phone onto a wireless pad before you go to sleep feels incredibly clean and convenient. But it is a silent heat trap. Wireless power transfer is fundamentally less efficient than a direct cable connection. And physics dictates that lost energy translates directly into excess heat. So your phone is running a few degrees warmer for 6 to 8 hours every single night. It might not feel burning hot, but that slow, constant roast degrades the chemistry much faster than you think. When you zoom out, Killing a battery isn't about one dramatic mistake. It's death by 1,000 cuts, trapped heat under a pillow, too much time maxed out at 100%, heavy gaming while plugged in, and the slow bake of an overnight wireless charger. Put those together often enough, and your battery health is gonna tank. But the good news? Now that you know the actual enemies, the fixes are ridiculously easy. Alright, enough theory. Let's talk actionable steps. What should you actually do differently tonight? If you ignore literally everything else in this video, please just remember this one rule. Let your phone breathe. Stop burying it under your pillows, wrapped in blankets, or trapped in your bed sheets. Charge it on a hard, flat surface like a nightstand. A little warm is normal, but if you pick it up and it feels like a hot potato, your setup needs to change immediately. Rule number 2, let the software do the heavy lifting. Whether you're on iOS or Android, your phone has built-in battery protections, things like optimized battery charging or adaptive charging. Turn them on. These features act like a smart bouncer. They learn your sleep schedule, charge the battery to 80%, hold it there all night, and then quietly sneak in that last 20% right before your alarm goes off. It keeps the battery completely relaxed. It is the easiest win you can get. Rule number 3, break the psychological need for 100%. Are you going on a 12-hour road trip? Yes, max it out. But if you're just commuting to an office where you'll be sitting next to an outlet all day, you don't need to stress the battery out just to see that 100% icon. Unplugging at 80 or 90% is perfectly fine and way healthier for the cells long term. Rule number 4, turn off fast charging at night. Fast charging is incredible when you have 15 minutes before a flight. But leaving a crazy 120-watt Android supercharger plugged in all night completely backfires. You are just cooking your battery for absolutely no reason. If you have 8 hours to sleep, you don't need violent speed. Rule number 5, keep wireless charging on your desk, not your nightstand. As we talked about, wireless pads create excess heat. So here is the ultimate rule of thumb. Use your wireless pad at your office desk for quick daytime top-offs. But for the long 8-hour overnight stretches, go old school. Plug in a physical cable. It runs cooler, it's vastly more efficient, and your battery will thank you. And finally, listen to the hardware. If your phone is getting unusually hot every single time it charges, or if the battery percentage starts falling off a cliff randomly, don't just ignore it. At that point, you're not just dealing with bad charging habits. You are looking at a faulty cable, a damaged port, or a battery that is physically failing. So here's the bottom line. Overnight charging is not the tech sin everyone told you it was. The plug is not the villain here. Trapped heat and unnecessary stress are. Keeping your phone cool and letting the software do its job will do infinitely more for your battery's lifespan than micromanaging every single percentage point. So yes, plug your phone in tonight, go to sleep, let the device handle the rest, just don't leave it buried under a blanket, quietly roasting itself while you dream. Now, I'm turning this over to you, because people get weirdly tribal about their battery habits. Are you a hardcore overnight charger, or are you a religious member of the 80% club? Drop your confession in the comments. If this video finally cured your battery anxiety, hit that like button. And if you want more everyday tech myths destroyed with zero fluff, hit subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.